Now, nearly 7 months after the centre stripped Jammu and Kashmir of its special status and also bifurcated it into 2 union territories, the Supreme Court will today deliver its verdict on whether to refer a batch of petitions challenging the Article 370 abrogation to a larger 7-judge bench. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by Justice Ramana and also comprising of Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul, R. Subhash Reddy, B.R. Gavai and Suryakant will deliver the verdict after reserving the order on January 23rd. The petitioners include People's Conference Chairman Sajad Lone, CPIM leader Yusuf Tarigami, NC's Akbar Lone and Justice Hasnan Masoodi and IAS officer turned Neta Shah Faisal. The petitioners have argued that the 370 purge by the Modi government was unconstitutional and that the people were bypassed. Anisha Mathur is joining us live with more details on this. Anisha, good morning. A crucial hearing expected in the Supreme Court today. Give us a sense of how really this hearing has panned out previously. What were the observations made by the bench?
Well, Akshita, this hearing is only on this judgment today is only on the preliminary issue of whether the question of abrogation of Article 370 needs to be sent to a 7 or 9 judge bench. Remember, the hearings had taken place a couple of days in December and about 4 days in January, and only on the preliminary issue. While Senior Advocate Raju Ramachandran had vociferously argued that his initial arguments about the history of the accession instrument, the way the Kingdom of Kashmir was included into India, and whether there was any difference between the accession agreements of Kashmir and other princely states at the time of independence. Another argument that was raised by some other petitioners was that these issues have already been considered by 2 separate judgments, one in 1959 and one in 1970, and those judgments have taken a contradictory stance on the legality and the relationship between Article 370 and the rest of the Constitution. So only on the preliminary issue of whether these 2 judgments need to be revisited, whether Article 370 has already been held to be an inalienable part of the Indian Constitution, and whether these issues need to be decided by a larger bench, is today's judgment expected.
Okay, Anisha, just stay with us, because in the Supreme Court also, there's another crucial issue, this too with regards to Jammu and Kashmir. A petition that's been filed by Sara Abdullah Pilot against former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, her brother, that is Omar Abdullah's detention under the Public Safety Act. Now, the petition filed by Sara Abdullah Pilot challenges the detention of NC leader Omar Abdullah under the Public Safety Act. On 10th February, Sara had approached the Supreme Court challenging her brother's detention, saying that the order of detention is illegal. The pleas sought quashing of the February 5th order detaining Omar Abdullah under the PSA and also sought his production before the court. Remember, former chief ministers of Jammu and Kashmir, including Omar Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti, have been under house arrest since 5th August 2019. Taking this across to Anisha yet again. Anisha, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the Supreme Court, considering that previously, with regards to the curbs and the restrictions in the valley, the top court had come down very harshly upon the centre.
Well, Akshita, we'll need to remember that the court has taken a very different view when it comes to these detentions versus the curbs and restrictions on ordinary people. While Omar Abdullah's detention has been challenged by Sara Abdullah this time, the court had on 10th February simply asked the government to respond to Sara's plea, and also had asked Sara's lawyers to inform the court if any similar petition has been filed in the High Court. In the meantime, after the Omar Abdullah's petition, when Mehbooba Mufti's daughter's petition on a similar issue had come up, the court had been informed that the reason all the political leaders are approaching the Supreme Court is because, according to the petitioners, the High Court had declined to consider the PSA detentions when the detention of the Jammu Kashmir Bar Association chief was challenged before the High Court. Now, a lot of questions are being asked by the detainees with regard to the extension. Remember, Omar Abdullah has not challenged the detention that he was under for the last 6 months under the CRPC. What has been challenged is that now that initial detention, which was slapped on 5th of August, had come to an end, because you cannot detain somebody for more than 6 months. Fresh detention orders under the Public Safety Act have been issued in the first week week of February, and that is what has been challenged as illegal. What Omar Abdullah's sister has argued is that for 6 months he's already been under detention. So why impose PSA now?
Okay, Anisha, thank you for those details. This is, of course, after the PSA was slapped on Omar and his detention was extended because he refused to sign the government's proposition that he will not be part of any protest against the abrogation of Article 370.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.